from the All Indiana Podcast Network. It's Diversity Focus Today. Now, here's your host, Rickie Solid Gold Clark.
And welcome once again to another edition of Diversity Focus Today. I'm your host, Rickie Solid Gold Clark, and we've got a different show today for you. We've got another legend in the building, in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen.
Where is he? Where is
boys
he?
and girls.
Where?
Get Live himself, Geno Shelton, one of Indy's top promoters and DJs, and who will be celebrating his 40th year anniversary coming up in September.
Yep, September.
As we were talking, I got him beat, though, by at least 15 years.
Yeah, so. Man, Rickie, you're talking radio now. You got me beat 40 years, 1970. So tell me how, but you said radio station didn't start until 1968, WTLC. So how'd that come about?
To give you the history of TLC at the time, TLC came on the air in 1968. The station was bought from Indiana Central University, which is now the University of Indianapolis. They were doing classical music. And so with all that, when Dr. Lloyd and his team purchased the station, it took approximately 2.5 years to change everything, put new equipment and move the station from where it was on the campus to 1734 South Villa Avenue.
The mighty Villa.
The mighty Villa. The equipment that the university had was antiquated, even then.
Really? They got new antiquated equipment.
Basically, the equipment that was bought was scrapped because, it just.
Oh, they got radio equipment for the garage sale.
Basically, kind of, sort of.
Hey, man, you got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere, and so all that had to be bought new.
Yeah.
They had a very, very small FM converter, because the station originally started with the university as an AM, because it was a student. It was for the students.
Probably just
and then they added the FM, and in fact, I remember the FM box being about the size of a cell phone.
Wow.
Just like the old FM converters you put in your phone when you were switching from AM to FM back in the 70s.
I never had one of those. Never had one of those.
So anyway, it took 2.5 years, almost 3 years, to get all the equipment and get everybody situated and folks that knew about radio and how to put it together.
Was there an urban station, an AM station before TLC?
WGEE was a daytimer.
Right.
And they played R&B music from 3 o'clock till sundown.
Okay.
So in the winter, every day. No, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
And then on Sunday they would do some gospel and that sort of thing.
Wow.
But it was just
them.
a daytimer.
It was a daytimer. Who was on that station?
Paul Majors.
No.
Yes. Paul Majors, if you remember Paul, he was on that station.
Rest in peace.
Man, and I can't remember some of the others.
GEE.
WGE. It was AM station. It was
so when you
1510 or 1590.
So when you guys came in, you guys knocked them out. Did they stop?
They really actually kind of stopped.
They just stopped.
They just stopped.
We can't do nothing with this.
When TLC came on, the powerhouse came on. Everybody.
We can't do nothing with this.
But it took us
2 years to get on the air.
Well, 2 years or so to get on the air, and then it took us another 5 or 6 years to get the audience to convert from AM to FM.
Wow.
So a lot of folks were going out and buying FM converters to install in their cars. They went out and they were buying the AM and FM transistor radios and the boom boxes. Thank God boom boxes kind of came in about the same time we were hitting the air
But they had radios in the 70s that had FM on it, though. Because I used to listen to GCI, and when I was in Michigan in the 72, 73, I used to listen to GCI.
Right.
So they had radios, just not in the cars, though.
Just on the cars, they had the transistors, but there was nothing on FM for the urban market.
Yeah.
So the best thing they had back in those days, the closest thing they had, which was 24 hours, was WIFE, 13, which is what TLC FM at TLC gospel is.
Right.
1310. That was the old WIFE.
Right.
And that was the closest thing, unless you listen after 10 p.m. And then you could pick up WLAC in Nashville.
15 WLAC in Nashville, Spider-Man Harris.
Yeah, the 100,000 powerhouse.
Randy's Record Shop. Come on down to Randy's Record Shop. Get your records. You hear it on the LAC, you buy it at Randy. Randy's Record Shop.
That's
Sponsored
right.
by Randy's Record Shop.
That's it. Randy's Record Shop all over the country.
Yeah,
back
okay, well,
then.
that's nothing out there. You're supposed to be talking about me now.
Okay, let's talk about you.
Dog.
Okay, your anniversary's coming up.
Let's talk about my anniversary.
Well, you asked for the history. I had to.
Yeah, well, no, you did. You're right.
I had to give I'm the historian.
But you don't get off track now.
We'll get off track.
A producer got something to do now. We got
okay.
Something,
Geno Shelton, folks. So he's got 40-year anniversary coming up.
40-year anniversary. 40-year.
What's the dates in September?
September 26th and 27th, the final weekend. I moved here, 1985 Circle City Classic weekend, 40 years ago. I moved here when I got on. My first show on the air was that Saturday of Circle City Classic. I wondered, where is everybody at? Now, I'm going to the radio station, and I'm wondering, where's everybody going? Where are they going? And lo and behold, I'm on the air, and everybody's down at that doggone RCA Dome. That's what we called back then, the RCA Dome, and the Hoosier Dome. And we down there for the football game. And I'm on the air jamming. Playing my music. 40 years later, praise God, thank you, Jesus, I'm still here. 40 years later, you can still hear me on wacky and crazy on the commercial, on the radio, on TLC. I'm the longest running advertiser ever in the history of WTLC. I've been on the air 39 years straight. I've had a commercial on the air, TLC, since 1986.
You came in doing parties, didn't you?
I came in. Well, no. Jay had a policy that you could not do any parties or appearances for 6 months.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
6 months. So from so when I got on the air in September, I couldn't do anything until January. My first party, as soon as the band was over, February, bam! I did my first party at the Walker. Bam!
See.
Soon as it was over with, I did my first party. And Hots at the Walker, 1986. First, I met my wife at the Walker.
Oh, did you?
Got married at the Walker.
Okay.
Did my first promotion, my first major promotions, hip-hop comedy shop at the Walker, 1993. My first major concert. You know what? Well, the first concert I ever did was Alex Bugnon at the Vogue. That was my actual first concert. That was early 90s, I think. But my first official concert promoter was in 1993 at the Walker Theater. We did a thing called the Hip Hop Comedy Shop.
Okay.
We did a comedy show every month. Comedy show every month at the Walker Theater. 2 shows, 8 and 11. And my first act that I brought was Michael Collier and Adele Gibbons.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, Hip Hop Comedy Shop. And the thing is, and the crazy thing about it was the tickets only cost $9.99.
$9.99
for a comedy show back in 1993, and I sold out both shows.
Did
and
you?
lost
Okay.
money.
What?
Because I didn't know how to budget. Because it's my first full concert. I didn't know how to budget the show.
Yeah, it takes a while. Been there, done that. Yeah.
But thank God I sold out. I didn't lose much. So the second show I had to raise the ticket price $1.
Well, you probably don't know this, but I was doing a lot of shows at the time.
I heard.
But when
I heard.
I was the Geno of my time.
I heard.
Doing the shows.
Ladies' choice. Ladies' rights.
Ladies' rights.
Ladies' rights.
And folks couldn't come in the market without, because I learned this from being in Chicago market.
Yeah.
You don't come in the market unless you kiss the rings.
That's
in other words, you got to knock on the door and say, look, Rickie, I need some help.
Rickie needs some help. Need street team. Need your help. Need your
yeah, I need all this, man. And this was way before Jay came into the market.
Yeah.
It was Spider Harrison
Yeah.
was our program director, and so we had no limitations.
Yeah.
And Todd Mathis was our general manager. Of course, Dr. Lloyd would say, look, I want the station everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a promotion. I don't care if it's a concert. I don't care if it's a church event. I don't care if it's a fish fry. When I come by that station, I bet not see, we had a station wagon and van. I bet not see neither one of those back in the back of the station. Better not be there. Better not be there. And then he look at this, how come I'm only spending $100 or $200 worth of gas for the month for these vehicles?
Yeah.
That means they ain't rolling.
I know, man. Your producer, man. You understand that. Your producer used to be a big time promotions director.
Exactly.
So we kept that van out.
Keep the van out.
The van out. I used to say when I was doing Expo, I used to have the Expo van. I used to literally go to places and park the van on the side of the street so that people coming down the street can go back and forth and see my van.
See, that's promotion, baby.
That's when I had the GGR van back when I was doing the promotions for the GGR station back in the day, boy. I had that van right there. Man, I go to Cheesecake Factory and I park in a handicap so everybody can see
Our director producer got his head down because he remembers something.
Man, shoot, man, we was guerrilla warfare. It was guerrilla warfare, man. You fought, for that promotion. Now these promotion directors nowadays, boy, they are. Well, that's another story, man. These guys nowadays.
That's another show.
Boy, that's another show. But yeah, 40-year anniversary, and so we're celebrating. And Rickie and I have been talking about Rickie and Thomas Griffin are spearheading to bring back some of the jocks that meant a lot to me. That weekend. We haven't announced this. You are actually, Rickie, the first person to announce the fact that we've invited, and I haven't even did this on Facebook. I'm going to probably do it this week after I talk to you and Thomas. But we're inviting back some of the legends of radio, some of the people who were stars of the day for the last 40 years. And some of them work TLC, some work at the other station, GE, and then the other station they had. What remember the other station? GRT, and there was another one, the FM station that kind of was in and out, PZZ, PZZ,
right, WPZZ.
I'm inviting some of those, that there was anybody that was somebody.
Okay.
And I can't invite everybody. I've got receptionists calling me and salespeople calling me and janitors calling. I can't. All y'all can't. I don't have tickets for. I wouldn't be able to sell no tickets for the show if I invited everybody that ever associated himself with a radio station.
Right.
But I'm trying to invite a lot of the people that meant a lot to listeners and to me because. That's where my energy came from. Rickie, you don't know it, but I studied you. I studied what you did. I studied what you did with the record label, Circuit City Records. I studied what you did with the promotions. I studied what you did with the Blue Room at night and your show. I'm a student of the game. I'm not Geno is not Geno because of Geno. Geno is Geno because of those around him. You, Jay, Rickie, Ray, Kelly. Tony, either Amp, and the younger people that came in that way, Jason, I was a student of radio. I studied the game.
Well, that's a high compliment. Thank you.
And I really admired what you did because you did a lot. A lot of people don't really, you didn't really get your flowers because you did, man. You had the record label. You was a policeman, and you was on the radio, and and I probably missed three or four things that you did, but you did all that. In what you did. So this anniversary is really, I tell the people all the time, I'm not celebrating me. I'm thanking. This is a 40-year thank you for Indy and their support. They didn't have to come to my first event. They didn't have to listen to me on the radio. They didn't have to embrace me. They didn't have to embrace TLC. They said, man, we ain't listen to that junk, but they did.
Yeah.
And man, I could go to McDonald's. Back in the day, man, I go to McDonald's, they give me free food. You, Geno, on the radio, they give you free food at McDonald's. I could go to any family reunion, no matter where. Back in the 80s, if I pull up with a TLC van at any family reunion,
that's right.
I'm automatically welcome. Please don't go. Please stay.
Yeah.
Automatically welcome.
That's
that
right.
was radio. That's what the gift that the city gave to me, and so that's why I'm doing the anniversary. That's why we got a great show. I mean, I'm kicking it off with Funk Fest because funk was the kind of music that I played back in the 80s. In the 80s was about the funk. We played the funk, and so I've got Midnight Star. I got Confunction. I've got Al Hudson and One Way. I've got Lakeside, and of course got a little bit of rap because I made a rap record. So I got Dougie Fresh coming.
Okay.
And that's the first night. Second night we're doing comedy, which again, comedy was the main thing that got me into concerts. I did little things before parties and stuff, parties and concerts, but the comedy shows is what got me into the concert realm. And so I'm doing in my concert Earthquake, D. Ray Davis. We've got Jess Hilarious. These are some of the biggest names in comedy. Tony Roberts. And I always, in every show that I do, I add a local person. So Amber James is heading up the local. She's a local comedian that's doing national stuff.
Okay.
And she's opening the show. So it's going to be a great weekend. Tickets are selling. The Funk Fest is 50% of the tickets are gone. The show's 2 months away.
That's good.
So comedy shows just went on sale and it's selling as well. So I just it's my thank you. It's my thank you to the city. We're going to do a red carpet event. Like I was saying before, I made the big announcement of the fact that we're going to invite some of the DJs. I'm not going to name no names yet because I want to make sure I got written confirmations.
Okay.
But some of your favorite DJs of all time are coming back that weekend, and I'm excited. I'm proud, but most importantly, I'm humble because, again, God, I was blessed. This city, God used me to come here, and God used the people of Indy to support me.
That's wonderful, G. That is wonderful. Now, we didn't tell the location.
Yeah. I guess we would need to know where they're going to go.
That's right.
The September 26th, 27th, everything's happening at Clues Hall.
Okay.
Clues Hall, great location, great venue. VIP tickets will include a meet and greet with some of the jocks.
Okay.
We got VIP tickets. We're going to do downstairs. We're going to do a light buffet. I'm working on Country Kitchen to be a sponsor of that buffet, and Nathaniel Lee. Those are the two people I'm working on to be the sponsor of the reception.
Okay.
But it's VIP tickets are available as well. So your chance to meet and greet some of the jocks, some of the people that were heroes. I mean these guys are heroes to me. I mean I looked up to. Pastors and DJs. I look up to them. Pastors and DJs.
Pastors and DJs.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
DJs.
Yeah, I had no idea you studied all of us, man. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great honor to know that you were doing. That I've been doing something that people enjoyed and learned from what.
Do my homework,
we
man. I feed on information. That's why I kind of love. That's the only thing I think I love about social media and the internet is that the information you can get. I love information. You can't stop learning, man, Ricky. I mean, it's just I'm so mad at myself because and your producer can tell you this as well. The technology is just so fast, and to be able to keep up, man.
Right.
I mean, I went to the airport with my kids. And they're doing stuff on the phone. They got to check the bags in, and I'm like, I'm doing old school. I'm going to the counter. I'm getting the tag. I'm doing old school, man. But technology, man, is the key. And in the last 40 years of this, as I'm celebrating, there's a lot of stuff you have to learn. Radio's not the same anymore.
No, it isn't.
It is nothing like it was.
No,
in
it is not.
85, nothing. There's some similarities, but it ain't the same. And not to say good or bad, but you got to keep up with technology. But yeah, I'm just excited about the weekend, as you guys can tell, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward, Rickie, to having if it was just me, you, and Thomas, and a couple other guys, I'd probably be happy. Because again, Thomas was another major influence for me. He was a king of street jocks.
He was Thomas,
if you
mobile DJ.
If you want to do a party, Thomas was the man to talk to. He was the man to talk to.
Yeah, that's what got Thomas in radio at TL. Was his mobile DJ.
With his mobile DJ. And they try to get him up there and say, man, you doing too much. We need to get you on the radio. You're doing too much, buddy.
Exactly. So, yeah, man. So what advice would you give for somebody new looking to get into this business now?
I don't, again, I'm on the air. I'm still on the air, still doing commercials, still doing promotions. I guess for me, I always tell people, you didn't need to go to college, but I thought it was important for me. Because it always gave me something to fall back on.
Sure.
To have that degree.
Right.
I think that I always tell people if you can do that, going to college broadcasting, because in college they teach you the new technology.
Right.
So because you need to know but kids get that computer stuff easy nowadays. I mean that's easy to learn. But I guess the real key to advice I'd give somebody, other than putting God first, which is I tell everybody in anything that I do, putting God first in all that you do, is to stay consistent and be yourself. Don't try to copy something. Back in the day, we all used to try to copy the other DJs. We wanted to sound like the other DJs. Well, the thing is that God made you an original. Be an original, because the original one is going to make it. There's never going to be another Rickie Solid Gold Clark. There's never going to be another Blue Room. There's never going to be. It can't be duplicated. You're not going to ever duplicate 15 WLAC. You're never going to duplicate Jay Johnson. Right. Not going to duplicate. He was an original. Be an original. Be creative. And as a personality, try to be everywhere. Don't you can't call yourself a personality and you're stuck at home not doing. You got to get out, meet people, talk to. I still to this day. You can go me on social media. I'm at 4 or 5 events every week.
I see.
Every week. Keep on supporting other people. Support other events. Get your face out there. Promotion is still. I'm still a strong believer in street team and promotion. I'm still a strong believer that it takes more than just social media. Billboards, flyers, a van, all that stuff. Being in the community, a human being is nothing beat being at Black Expo and you're actually physically handing somebody a fan or a pen or something.
Right.
It's that human touch. It's still important. It's still important. So that's what I would tell somebody.
Yeah, we tell them, okay. That's great knowledge. I mean, hey, you just educated a whole bunch of folks, I'm sure, that always wanted to, well, what makes Geno Shelton tick?
Well, that's my wife, my kids, and praise God. But Rickie, it's been a pleasure to be on the show today, man. I gotta go. I got money to make things to do.
Yeah, places to see, money to make things to do. Okay, we don't want to hold you up there, brother. I mean, that's for sure. We're just glad that you stopped by and gave us a history lesson on Geno Shelton and about radio and the jocks that are forthcoming at this event in September.
Yep, September 26th, 27th, Clues Hall, the Funk Fest and the Comedy Show. Tickets available at Al's Modern Clothing, at the King Ribs, and at Barbecue Heaven.
Okay, all right. Any one of those locations?
And the Clues Hall box office.
And the Clues Hall box office.
Yep, or DJGeno.net. DJGeno.net. Go to my website. All the concerts that's happening in Indy, I always post them on my website.
DJ, say that again. DJGeno.net.
DJGeno.net. DJGeno.net.
Okay. All right. Well, look, Alan, we ready? G Money, you ready? I mean, I know you got another appointment. Got to get that money.
I got an appointment.
I got to get the funds. Okay, so we're gonna take a pause for the calls, and we'll be right back, I assume, in just a few moments.
DJ Geno presents the Funk Fest, Friday, September 26th, with Doug E. Fresh. The Funk Fest with Confunction, and it's all the way live with Lakeside. There's more with Midnight Star plus Al Hudson and One Way. Then September 27th. It's the Classic Comedy Jam. 2 shows at 7:30 and 11, starring D. Ray Davis. Plus, just hilarious, Earthquake, Tony Roberts, and Amber James. Get tickets at the box office and Ticketmaster.
And welcome back to Diversity Focus Today. I am your host, Rickie Solid Gold Clark. You just had the pleasure of meeting and greeting and hearing and seeing Geno Shelton, one of Indy's top promoters. He gave his history. Promotion and being in promotion and being a DJ, and of course he's celebrating his 40th anniversary the end of September as part of the Circle City Classic at Clues Hall. He gave you the lineup, so hopefully you write it down, the commercials, or you watch the commercial that is airing on our show as well as other places. So now we're going to get back to some of the things that are going on in our area, in our city, in our state. We do know that our governor, who is a Trumper, who follows Trump's lead on anything and everything, has threatened basically the city of Indianapolis to bring in the state police to help the city with its crime. Now keep in mind, I have nothing against the state police, but the governor should realize that the state police, 85% of what they do is traffic stops and accidents on the interstate and in some state highways, especially in the rural area. So they're not accustomed to what IMPD goes through handling runs in a city. They get runs in the rural area and they handle a few domestic or encounters in the rural communities, but for the most part, all the major cities have their own police departments. So even some of the smaller ones. So I don't know what, I think he's just stretching or boasting, or because Donald Trump has said something along those lines, and even I think it's a state senator, Mike Young, who has mentioned that and says, I'm putting this together, and I mean, come on. Indianapolis is the largest city in the state of Indiana, and the community's doing just fine. The clergy has been out and helping support and educating parents and talking to folks within the criminal elements of our area, and every city, every state has that. So, I think Indianapolis is doing just fine with what they've been doing. They want to criticize the prosecutor. The prosecutor is elected by we the people here in Marion County in Indianapolis, Indiana. So we don't need an attorney general who's also a Trumper, a state attorney general interfering, He's got his own problems. He's got to go before the Judicial Commission for like the fourth or fifth time based on the violations that he's done. So, you know, he can't even talk because he's in trouble again. So anyhow, we need to, like I said, folks, the midterm elections are coming up in 2026. Primaries will begin in 2026. And this is, well, it's about 6 months away from, the end of the year, and then primaries will come up, and then we'll have the opportunity to vote in November of 2026. So keep that in mind. If you're not registered to vote, do so. And if you're not sure, please call downtown to the election board. I think that's who handles that sort of thing. And ask and find out if you're registered, or just call, period. The number is very handy. You can Google it. You can, call directory assistance. You can call 211 to find out when and where. In fact, you can do that now. There's no particular certain dates. You can register. If you're not registered, then you do so. If you're unsure about registering, then please check, because this is an important election forthcoming. Primaries coming up. And if you want to make change and be a part of the change, you need to be able to vote and vote your conscience, and so we can continue being a nation and not being a dictatorship, as some folks in the political arena would love for the country to be, and love for the state of Indiana to be, with dictators. So we don't want to do that. This is a democracy, and we want to maintain it and keep it that. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, we've got, and we just recently went through Indiana Black Expo, which was extremely successful. I came down and went down. Our director producer, he was down there for the whole weekend. I would say it was a great success this year, and I have heard nothing negative about it. Everything was positive. A lot of vendors down there, a lot of people. Of course, it was the same weekend as the WNBA All-Stars, so that had to help, because there was a lot of entertainers, there was a lot of guests, a lot of sports folks, athletes in town for that, and just folks that came to Indianapolis to witness the WNBA. So that was a great marriage between the Indiana Black Expo and the WNBA. I'm sure it helped on both ends of the fence on that. So anyhow, we've got things upcoming, which would include, like I said, the Classic, Circle City Classic, which is in September. You want to make sure you're a part of that. Make sure you get registered so you can vote in the midterms. That's you're going to constantly hear us harbor on that. Registering and vote. Vote. We want to, because that's very important. I think I've covered most of everything on this particular show, so we appreciate you. Hey, go to our Facebook, Diversity Focus Today, diversityfocustoday.com, and let us know what you think. Put your questions, ideas, concerns, whatever you want to do. Also, we're on YouTube, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and, of course, our show runs Saturday night, Sunday morning at 2 a.m. on Wish TV, Channel 8. I got to go. We'll see you next time on another edition of Diversity Focus Today.